So the people tempted to go in mine shafts and wander around, I promise you it's a great way to die.
Reverse.
Wow, so you hook all these up all at once, and he's got this like thing on the front here, valve.
Oh, wait till you see what's under the hood.
Okay, all right.
They're all hooked up.
Okay,
There is something to pay attention to though.
Okay, it looks like you're on life support already with all these hoses sticking out.
Yeah. The thing to pay attention when you have the hose set up is if your hose is here and you air down, now your hose is pinched and you can't get it out. So I always make sure I have enough room around the tire.
And how many times have you made this rookie mistake?
Once.
Once.
I learned
Just
quick.
once.
That's how you know.
I learned quick.
Okay, so while Aaron's filming and distracting the tech crew here, we got down to 12 and 13 and 11 PSI. Disconnecting the sway bar, which basically...
What it does is it allows for a lot of articulation. And on this road, we don't need that. But what it does is it makes the bumps more like rocking in a ship instead of a hard back and forth.
Cracking around.
It's a gentle back and forth. Kind of like being in a boat. Those are mule deer.
Oh, it's muleys? Alrighty. So they said not to run up to the cliff, because I bet you it's steep and you slide down, you'll probably die. Let's find out. Woo boy, and I suppose this is undercut. Taking my life into my hands! Wow, that's cool. Whoa! Okay, who's throwing the rock? As you can see across this stormy valley, there are some very substantial houses and buildings and mining equipment to be explored in the area. This is much more extensive than I was expecting. I expected a few ruined buildings, but this is pretty impressive. We're gonna wander over on the trail, wandering around the town, village. What would you call the mining camp? What would you say, Elgin?
Yeah, this would be a mining camp.
Mining camp, alrighty. This is potentially the assay office, where they figured out if your gold or minerals or whatever was worth anything. So you can see what Elgin, we were talking about earlier, they use these nails with a really wide head to hold on that tar paper. Okay, here we go, inside the building. Okay, so check out these wires. Those two wires are uninsulated.
I don't know if they're uninsulated
or not. They have to be because they're crossed here.
Yeah.
But they're just literally no Romex, no anything, just these ceramic glass holders there. And let's see if I can get up there real quick, just to give you a sense of, I wouldn't say primitive, because the Romans sure would have liked to have light when they were doing life, but check that out. I mean, just the actual mount and everything, and it goes through the walls, and it has their insulators there. Dang, that's actually really impressive. Is that like a wainscoting? Or
yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just horizontal instead of vertical, but that looks really nice. All in a mining camp. That's really surprising.
Everything.
Yeah.
They made it nice.
So you look at this valley here, and you see that yellow sulfury spot coming down out of the mountain. All this area is volcanic, but it's a conglomerate sort of mess. So it's so that's actually the main mining building they operated. They had the lift, and I wonder where the stamp mill was around here. But that's actually the area where they had the shaft that went down into the earth to hopefully get the riches.
Rebuilt for people like me.
Cranks here allowed you to probably engage, it engages or disengages these, so they spin and then they contact this and begin spinning. But what we can't figure out is where the belt drives for these actually connected to, because there's no hole in this, there's no hole here. And there's nothing that would carry that kind of load for that sort of machinery up here at all. And this guy good and solid, I assume. Don't want to step in that.
Close up.
Have you stepped on cow pie yet?
Not yet, but I have my eye out for them.
Literal wallpaper, 100 years old. But it's fabric-y. It's not regular. Alright, see if I can get up here without too much severe injury falling through a stair.
Medical's a long way away. Well, I have an EMT, but
True.
I don't have a bag.
Don't want to use our skills if we can avoid them.
So, Aaron has come to a precipice. This is it.
So I've climbed mountains, done all sorts of crazy things, and now I'm gonna die. I always fantasize about having a marching band 3 seconds into the future. So we've come into another mining building, and right over here is, well, thank goodness it's been buried in, because you don't want to have a big open hole. People and cows will die. Alright, and okay, so we got the mine we were checking out. You can see the tower. Man, that thing is, well, towering, for lack of a better or more inspirational description. And then over here is a boiler, and we just stripped on a bucket, and that's good. And check this out, the Worthington Boiler Company. Cool, alright. See outside the building. All the way up there. That's pretty surprising.
In 1934, Amelia Earhart spent most of the summer up here with the Dunroods. The Dunroods ran a dude ranch just down the road, and she picked out a sweet spot about 3/4 of a mile down the road, not this cabin here, but about 3/4 mile down the road. This was a road they could drive on. They started building her a cabin, and they got 3 logs built before she took off on her famous flight and disappeared. So they stopped building the cabin, and if you want to see what was once going to be her cabin, you can hike that 3/4 of a mile down this road. You can no longer drive a car down it.
Exploring these old ruins has been real fun with the Wyoming Jeepers. There's a lot of mining debris and old buildings, and even a building with wallpaper. I mean, how crazy is that? The caretaker and the main foreman, I'm looking down to make sure I don't eat it, but the main foreman wanted his wife up here, and it didn't last very long, but it sure was a nice thought. So it's a pretty good adventure up here. My watch says the elevation is 9,200 feet, and just walking up the short hill, I have to admit I'm feeling it. So it's definitely makes me feel like I went somewhere. So it's a good time to look around this area. Oh yeah, so that drops way down, and that guy's way up there. It's pretty wild, yeah, your rear axle is kind of tucked in there, but check out the air in here. Woo! I mean, the space there just makes a lot of difference, but you've got a Fox shock too that has a lot more travel than the standard, so that makes it a big deal. So you said that was a aftermarket kit that you added on there to make that possible?
It's the lift kit and the sway bar disconnect.
Nice.
Yep.
Crunch. Bet you did. This is a super great adventure. I went out with the
Wyoming Jeepers!
and with Melissa and Elgin here, and she is the author of
The Call of the Last Frontier!
They lived in Alaska for 20 years, a super adventure. This has been a great combo of 2 great YouTube channels, both adventure-centric, super fun in the high mountains of Wyoming, checking out an ancient mining community that's over 100 years old. Please check out links below in the description to both of our books, Antarctic Tears and
The Call of the Last Frontier.
And check out our videos and our links to other products. My name is Aaron Linsdale. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more info like this.